hadn't even made appointments in the numbers of promotions that we were seeing extended right back to us. And so, as our statement has said, these revocations are not permanent. We will go through the lay-down processes of advertising for these positions, and those who were in those previous positions, to the extent that they are qualified, they can reapply. These things happen every now and then. Errors in the recruitment processes. The processes are allowed to be rescinded, and new processes, ignite. Take the necessary steps to annul any such appointment or recruitment and submit.
Patriotic Party. Richard Ayagba, we've seen a lot of NPP people raising concerns about this particular annulment. Thank you very much for joining me, sir.
Thank you kindly. Sir, was not alluding to that. It was saying a blanket revocation of all appointments and recruitment. The reference has been made to something of the nature that happened in 2017. I remember very carefully back then when there was some concern about some recruitment. The idea was that there are some people who had been recruited without the appropriate qualifications into the services. If you make a case on that basis, then we understand that yes, it is a process. And I don't think that the New Patriotic Party will do anything like that. But what they are indicating for us and the scale at which they are putting this issue creates the appearance of undermining our constitution. And His Excellency John Dramani Mahama swore to defend the constitution. And this act is not defending the constitution, but undermining the constitution. Because the power of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo did not expire at December 7th after the election. It ended on January 7th, midday, when he took over. So clearly, this action is out of bounds with the law, and I think that the citizens who are affected must take this action legally to bring attention to that illegality being done to them. It is wrong. If it was wrong yesterday, we shouldn't condone it. The idea that somebody may have done that in the past, and so therefore we should continue is unacceptable. It is not right. When she said that it is not a definitive decision that is set out there, it is for people to do audits and the rest of things that she was saying, to find out that if the processes were breached, then we can address that. But if not, people who are appointed properly, people who are recruited properly, those people's conditions should not be recruited properly. Those people's conditions should not be varied just because the NDC has one power. If it is done by the MPP, we should say it, or the NDC has one power. If it is done by the MPP, we should say it. If it is done by the NDC, we should say it. The reason we must say it is that it is our democracy that is being toyed with. Because the power that is given to a government, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, it is sacred by the people of this country, and we must respect the exercise of that power. No government, the exercise of that power. No government should come and vary a decision that has been made on behalf of the people, such as this one.
Okay, Mr. Ayagba, I have to let you go, but I need a yes or no answer from you. If you investigate and find out that some persons whose appointments have been annulled are members of the NPP, will the party take it up?
Well, here we are. There's a prejudice introduced in the matter already, because now they have indicated they've terminated all of them. It will be second thought. It will be probably an afterthought to want to revise that, and therefore, if that becomes the case, nobody can trust it. We expect the government to do right, allow all those people to stay as they have stayed, and we, just as we did by respecting their decision to increase the National Service students' allowance, we honor that. They should honor this. It is, after all, our country, and those people who they are seeking to affect are Ghanaians, and they should allow them to continue in their employment and appointments.
All right. Thank you very much. That's Richard Ayagba. He's Director of Communications for the NPP. Let's find out what your reactions are about this on social media. Nana Akwa joins me with those thoughts and comments. Nana, What are people saying?
Well, Lily, these revocations have brought a lot of engagements. We move over to Facebook and we see here, Yusuf said, it's really sad though, the past government did this call. We move on to our next. We have Lagos man who says, why aren't they Ghanaians? You want to create jobs for the youth, yet sacking same from their jobs. It's never the best. I personally don't agree with that action. Our next comment is from Guma, is one of the worst. It's one of the worst decisions so far. They are Ghanaians and deserve a decent life. Sending them home will only worsen their lives, he believes. On our next comment, we have Don. It's an excellent decision, he feels. They were told not to do so in a transition period, but they blatantly ignored. We also have Don Bill Cosby, who says, a move in the right direction. Why were these people not employed years back until there is a change in government? Is it a strategy to put a burden on the new administration? Don is asking there. Stephen says, it looks good for now, but termination. And our comment here from Abubakar says, Yao Osofo-Mafo terminated appointments and appointed his son to a lucrative position at SNIT, and he was there perpetuating his father's legacy of corruption. Our next comment from Sadia says, at least they should have pity on poor Ghanaians who genuinely qualify for the jobs. And that is our last comment there on Facebook. My name is Nanama Aqua. But my question is, are they qualified? If they are qualified, why are they being moved out of their jobs? Lily, back over to you.
Thank you very much, Nanama, for those thoughts and comments. This is Newsroom. We are back shortly after this breather. Stay tuned in. You're welcome back from the break. This is still Newsroom here on GHOne TV. I am Lily Mohammed. The Ashanti Regional Police Commander DN follows the violent disruption of the Council of State election in Kumasi on Tuesday, February the 11th, 2025. The election, which began peacefully, descended into chaos when macho men allegedly affiliated with the NDC from Obuasi disrupted the voting process. The disturbance occurred after the sorting of ballot papers revealed that Nanan Kansabwedu was leading. The unrest led to the vandalization of the electoral materials. The Ethiopia Abrakwa, who was overseeing the security for the election, was unable to control the situation, which is believed to have contributed to his transfer to Accra. His transfer letter was sent to him immediately following the incident. Let's now bring you the business brief. Now, Energy Supply Services provider Anointed Engineering Services Limited is demanding the government introduces tax waivers and incentives that support the importation and purchase of eco-friendly vehicles. The company has introduced its first line of small fossil-free, environmentally friendly electric vehicles.
It comes across as any sleek, flashy, cute car with every imaginable comfort you would desire in a modern vehicle. But what makes the Cerio Nano 3 stand out is a silent electric engine that runs on long-lasting chargeable batteries with no need for fossil fuels. Limited sole dealers Samuel Ajay Boating describes the vehicle as the most cost-effective, environmentally safe and efficient solution for private and commercial transportation.
If you are in a normal car and you are running on air conditioning and all that, your battery is faster. Once you solve the charging problems, EV is same as whatever you see in the world. Once you charge your batteries, you are ready to go. And the batteries is very good. This battery is guaranteed for 8 years.
The MD at the unveiling of the Cerio Nano 3 EVs at its Asokwa showroom in Kumasi appealed for tax waivers and incentives that encourage workers to purchase electric vehicles as part of the government's green transition strategy. There's
a new ministry for greener, the teachers, the nurses, the doctors, and all that. The teacher, the nurses, the doctors, and all that. That they maintain their own cars, and these are the cars I think they need. And I think I will plead with the government to look at the duty.
For every Cerio Nano 3 EV purchased, Anointed Engineering Services is offering a free digital generator to provide reliable electricity supply, and guaranteed servicing for vehicle owners.
Now, President John Dramani Mahama has instructed the Minister for Finance, Dr. Kesi Alatoforson, to take urgent measures to bridge the funding gap resulting from the suspension of the United States Agency for International Development Funding Program. In a statement signed by presidential spokesperson Felix Kwachio-Fusu, the president expressed deep concern over the estimated $156 million shortfall. Of particular concern is the projected $78.2 million deficit, which threatens critical interventions including malaria prevention, maternal and child health, family planning, reproductive health, nutrition, and the fight against HIV and AIDS. The availability of antiretroviral drugs, testing, and prevention programs is also at risk due to the funding disruption. President Mahama has directed that immediate bridging arrangements prioritize these key areas to mitigate the adverse effects of the USAID funding suspension. Let's now engage Professor Patrick Esumi, his senior lecturer at the Department of Finance of the University of Ghana Business School via Zoom. Good afternoon to you, Prof. Good to see you again.
Good afternoon. Good to see you again. Good afternoon to viewers.
Now, given our current economic dispensation, how are we going to mitigate this?
And if you just suppose it is where I think it's even more important, because it tells us that we can't continue to rely on others for essential things.
Absolutely.
If you are talking about essential medicines that we depend on being supplied by a foreign country, they do this for their own strategic interest. And I think we need to make a decision going forward. We should only consider bridge funding going forward.
Ability then.
2.4 billion. I mean, that is what is coming to the government. I think that, when the incoming government has spoken about the importance of cutting some of the public sector waste. If you look at the waste within our public sector system, and we cut even